Says we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show for a special Sunday Night Live. This is the first time we've gone live on this original channel in years. It's actually
Yeah.
kind of surreal. It's so cool that we're doing this again, and just prayers that we keep this channel alive and don't get any more strikes and all that stuff. So, it's a big deal kind of for us. It was unexpected for us to even get our channel back, and here we are now. So anyone that's listening to this or catching a replay, all of our lives from here on out are going to be on this original channel, and then they'll be uploaded to the backup channel, Journey to Truth Podcast 2.0, and then the Rumble channel after that, as well as the premieres. We're going to premiere everything over here as well, and then upload it after the fact. So we're going to try and funnel everybody back to this big channel because it's actually exhausting trying to post in so many places when it's unnecessary now that we have our home back. So, welcome everybody. There's a lot to go through today. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that Hawaii is coming up. And if you guys want to join us in Hawaii on the Big Island, it's April 20th through the 24th. We have an amazing lineup of speakers. We're going to be on a boat doing an ocean adventure, a volcano national park, some sacred sites. It's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be amazing. Actually, I can't wait to get there. But if you want a chance to receive or win a $200 discount on your ticket, if you purchase your ticket before Black Friday, before or on Black Friday, you'll be entered to win a $200 discount, to receive a $200 discount on your ticket. And the tickets are very limited. So if you'd like to join us, that link is below. You can purchase them at journeytotruth.online. And on January 9th, here in Sedona, Arizona, we are doing a private screening premiere of our Secret Space Program documentary. It's at one of the Sedona Film Festival theater here. Tickets are not on sale yet, but they will be probably tomorrow, actually. It's going to be January 9th. Showtime is at 6:30 p.m. and there's only about 43 seats in the theater. It's a small theater. So anybody that wants to come out and be the first to witness our documentary, we cannot wait for everyone to see it. It's coming together beautifully and it's a labor of love. I mean, we've been filming for years and it's hours and hours of editing. So it's coming together. We're excited. We can't wait for you to see it. If you want to be one of the first to see it, make sure you pay attention to our social media posts because we will be announcing the ticket sales for that shortly. That being said, how's it going, Aaron? How you doing over there?
Doing well. Doing really good. How are you? Happy
Not
birthday.
bad. Thank you. It is my birthday today. This not why we're doing this today. I just felt we don't have many opportunities to go live anymore, and the Sunday Night Live sounded great. So, yeah, but I am actually, how old am I? 39
How
now?
old am I? Yeah.
39?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. I don't
I
even
know because
know.
you're about 4 months older than me.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
yeah,
So I'm coming up
you're
on 40
39.
and I'm not excited about it, but I am because I feel like I'm just beginning, my life out here. So yeah, thank you guys all for the birthday wishes in the chat. I appreciate that. Much love. Seriously, we can't do this without you guys. And it's been an amazing birthday so far. So there's a lot to cover today, actually, and I want to cover a lot of the things that Trump is doing. And just a disclaimer, we're not saying Trump is some sort of savior or anything like that, but his role, his archetype, what he is doing for the collective, for the planet right now, is absolutely necessary. Elizabeth April just recently did a video talking about when she kind of tapped into Trump's spirit. She was like, why would anybody sign up for this mission, right? And she saw him as the bringer of chaos, the disruptor archetype. Doesn't necessarily mean he's for good or for bad. His role is to come in and literally uproot a failing system and literally uproot the entire planet, actually, and create this chaos because that's the only way things are going to change, in my opinion. Like we can, like, there's no going back to what we considered normal was ever since before C-19, right? That's over. Things are changing, and all of these things are on the horizon, and a lot of people are trying to fight it and resist it instead of understanding what's happening from a higher perspective here.
Higher
That this
perspective.
right. This needs to be, everything needed to be shaken up desperately. We were desperately in need for a shakeup. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. Whether you like him, whether you hate him, or agree with what he's doing, he is making everyone look in the mirror and face their shit. Do you know, because of Trump, and I'm not saying he's a savior, but just the other day, on the 25th, just yesterday, judges, and this has been happening now, but this is something I was paying attention to. Some corrupt judges are starting to be arrested. One guy got arrested in the middle of a hearing and they're
Yeah.
being arrested. So yesterday, two judges were arrested for obstructing ICE arrests, basically obstructing the arrest, and there's a lot more details to that. But then six Texas officials have been arrested on voter fraud charges, including a Democratic judge, and then a fire chief and a judge in Utah were arrested for sharing CSAM or child sexual abuse material and talking about what they would like to do to children. One of these judges was literally escorted out of the courtroom in the middle of his hearing. These corrupt judges that were literally protecting the pedophiles and the human trafficking and the drug trafficking and everything else, all these crimes against humanity, they're being arrested now. That's never happened, and that would never happen under any other president. So it's
Right.
interesting. I know people want to say he's Hitler and all this stuff, but I don't think people understand that the system is being uprooted because the system was evil and that evil is being uprooted. But if you don't understand that there really is a deep state cabal, then you're not going to understand that this is absolutely necessary right now. And then we can get
Yeah.
into what's going on at the White House. But Aaron, if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, well said. And it's, it's interesting because to really know what's going on, um, the whole planet has been programmed by the very system that's been enslaving and abusing humanity. Um, so what do you think they're going to program most people to believe when they're being actively taken out, when they're being actively disrupted, when there's a plan they have that is being thwarted actively for the last at least 8 years or more? Um, you think you're going to get any semblance of truth from any official sources, any, you know, most politicians, most celebrities, most media, most. No, you're going to get what the system wants you to believe. So what I've seen is that, um, you know, the more someone is connected to their higher self or their own inner guidance system, the more you're able to see through that BS, and the less likely you are to be programmed. But the people that aren't as healthy are the ones that are, and they're the ones that are screaming Hitler and screaming about everything going on because they don't understand what's really going on. It's just that simple. And if
Right,
you don't dig yourself to really get the details behind the smoke screen, you're never going to know. You're just going to be seeing the smoke screen, right? And that's what we're doing here on the show today. We're like, what's really going on here?
right,
Not what we're being told is going on, not what everyone's screaming about, what's really going on. That's what we're trying to
right.
figure
And you know what's interesting that No Kings protest that happened last weekend or whenever it was. I was actually surprised to see the amount of people that were out in the streets, claiming that he was Hitler and he's a pedophile and all these things. It was basically an anti-Trump thing. But I was like, this is so fabricated. I felt it to my core. I was like, this No King, everybody had these shirts on and it was very, very coordinated, right? And like, so,
out.
and obviously it turned out to be coordinated. And Trump even said himself that it was funded by Soros. Like he straight up said it.
Yeah,
Which it
which it is.
absolutely was, and people were they were handing out free shirts, and it was like this whole thing, and some of the protesters admitted on camera that they were getting paid $200 to be there, and of course, like even if you're not into politics, those are the easiest targets. You're walking down the street and somebody say, "Hey, you want to make $200 today?" Just stand out in the street with this sign and whatever. So, but I was looking at it, and so here in Sedona, there's two specific spots where the protest was originating from. And I was like, oh my God, it was each one of them was at the base of a gigantic 5G tower. And I tapped into it and I literally saw the tower puppeteering the protest. Almost like there was a thread of frequency attached to every single one of those people, programming them. And it was like this hive mind collective.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, if you were to go in the street into the protest and try to reach one of those people while that frequency is being emitted, it would literally, I think, be impossible. And I was like, oh, The enemy in this case is this frequency warfare in this tower. Like that needs to be dismantled and disrupted. And
Hmm.
there's no coincidence that each one of these protests were quite literally at the base of a massive 5G tower. And that's frequency warfare 101. I mean, it was so obvious and plain to see. And like, why would you do it here? Like, you're literally like, you can touch the pole, it's just crazy. So
Right.
it makes perfect sense to me. Like, this is what we're dealing with. It's not just, yeah, they're being paid, but also frequency warfare. And it's
Hmm.
just something that we don't think about. And if you're in the protest, you will literally never connect the dots to that tower because it's the tower that's programming you, right?
Right.
And of course, everything else. But it's just interesting to notice the way things are playing out. So,
Yep.
one of the things we're going to talk about is disrupting the Masonic grid. And that's really important because Trump is doing this addition on the White House, right? And actually, if you look at the aerial view of the addition or what's being demolished, it's actually one tiny percentage of the whatever wing it was, the East Wing. Um, I'm not sure which wing it was anymore.
East Wing.
East Wing, yeah, that's what I thought.
It was just a tiny section of the East Wing, and
Right,
then all the media says is he's tearing down the White House. He's demolishing the White House.
right.
First off, that's the East Wing. It's not the White House. Those are actually two different things. It's an addition onto the White House that was added during that. Who was it? Was it Roosevelt that added it? I think FDR added it.
Not
Like
positive.
around 100 years ago or so, something like that. So it wasn't even an original part of the White House. Is the White House? That's the original building, the middle one. Then there's the West Wing and the East Wing. It was just like the outer sliver of the East Wing that he's tearing down so that he can add the ballroom onto it. That's
Right.
it. But they don't
And
tell
but
you all those details. They just tell you. They just scream about Trump, Orange Man bad, tear down White House, be mad at Orange
I,
Man.
I will say though, I saw the meme going around. It's like a photo of like the Death Star being built next to the White House, and like it was like a left-leaning meme saying this photo leak of Trump's new edition, and it's like literally the Death Star. And I was like, man, the left learned how to meme because that's pretty funny.
Finally, yeah.
It's pretty funny actually.
One of the very few
Right.
that, yeah, is actually funny,
Uh,
even if it's not accurate.
Right, yeah.
Right.
So basically, what they're saying is actually, I'm going to read Shadow of Ezra's tweet because, well, a lot of people who follow him think he has ties with the 17 operation. Maybe, maybe not, but he definitely is an interesting figure to follow. I'll just say that. So he
Hmm.
posted the other day, whenever this was happening, a TikToker claims President Trump's new White House ballroom construction will disrupt the Freemasonic layout of Washington, D.C., which was intentionally designed with symbolic geometry visible from above. He says this change will break the city's sacred geometry, erasing the Freemason symbols woven into its original blueprint. That's absolutely crucial. And where by him specifically demolishing the East Wing and building that ballroom, it breaks that symbology. And that
Hmm.
is so crucial. I don't care. Like they built
Yeah.
this stuff with intention, and we have to rewire the planet with intention.
It's black magic.
Right.
That's what it is. If you understand how black magic works with the symbols and sigils and how that affects energy, and they literally created, like what you just said, DC, the whole layout is a giant black magic sigil. There it's always happening basically because they made it that way, and they're doing rituals and everything else you can imagine on top of that. So yeah, like you said, and this is something I've thought for years now, ever since he first got it. I'm like, okay, well, how are they going to fix that? What are they going to do? Because I knew that for a long time. I'm like, what are they going to do to fix that? Well, here's one thing he's doing right now to disrupt that and to fix
Right.
that.
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to play a video from Operation New Earth 2.0 on Instagram. I don't know if it's his original video, but that's where I stole it from. So I'm gonna give him credit for it. And it's basically a 3-minute video explaining the layout of DC and what this is, how this is important. But I don't know if we'll play the whole thing. So, but we'll start it and just kind of feel into it. I just have to, oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do here to share my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
The one thing I want to talk about is the original design.
Can you see it still?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
The one thing I want to talk about is the original design of Washington, D.C. As you know, this was built as a Freemason city, and there's a lot of sacred geometry in Washington, D.C. You get an overlay of this with Freemason symbols and the star, which of course looks on the surface like a satanically built city because of the geometry of this place. Now, if you didn't know, Donald Trump is building an archway and adding to the ballroom. So this sacred geometry that's been set up in Washington, D.C. is about to be considered asymmetrical now, and it's going to fuck it up. So this, quote, sacred Mason geometry that's been a part of Washington, D.C. for 250 years is about to be knocked out of whack and out of alignment because of Donald Trump's plans of what he's building. Most people haven't talked about that. I'm going to talk about it. I just did. And whether Donald Trump knows it or not, this is absolutely fantastic. It's almost like Donald Trump's building plans are a physical thorn in the side to what Washington, D.C. was all about. This is absolutely fantastic news. I love this. I want to see Trump build more shit. The one thing I want to talk about is the original design of Washington, D.C.
Okay,
I think
that's
it's
it. So it
replaying.
just
Yeah.
it repeats twice. So
And just to clarify, he says sacred geometry, but it's inverted sacred geometry,
yeah, it's a
which
broken
is
pentagram, which
it's
is
it's the upside down pentagram, which is an inversion of what the symbol's supposed to be, and it's no longer sacred when you invert it, right? It's demonic, it's satanic, however you want to put it. It's
but
inverted.
it's
But
inverted, but that pentagram was also broken. So the actual
right,
grid wasn't completed. And I didn't even know that until Dr. Salo did that video. So
I
the
just wanted to clarify his wording there
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
saying sacred geometry is a little bit misleading because it's not, it's no longer sacred geometry the way they do it, you know. Um,
Inverted sacred geometry.
Inverted, yeah.
And so here's the other interesting thing. Trump stressed the military's involvement in that addition. Now, why would the
Mhm.
military be involved unless it's being fortified? Obviously, it's being fortified. But I also think that they're probably involved because there are covert groups within the private sector and the secret societies that might be trying to thwart that effort or sabotage
Mhm.
the construction project. So like they have to have high security or just whatever it looks like. We can only speculate. But the
Yeah.
military involvement that Trump stressed, I think that's important to take note of as well.
Right, right, right. And that was, I picked up on that when he said, "Oh, the military is very involved in this." And I'm like, "Oh, there you go. He's telling you." Like, why
Right.
would the military be very involved? And in addition to the White House, I mean, I guess you
And
could make a case of like, "Oh,
right.
yeah, it makes sense." Well, the fact that he's saying it and he's saying they're very involved, he's like making a point to tell you there's something deeper than just I want to build a ballroom going on here, you know.
Well, another thing that's interesting too is so Trump would kept talking about this archway, right? They're building this archway, but
Hmm.
he keeps calling it an arc, like quite literally an arc instead of an arch. And
Interesting.
yeah, so the video he just kept, yeah, well, we're building this arc. We're building an arc. It's going to be great. And like, why aren't you saying arch? I'm actually going to
Right.
share my screen and play that video too, just because I forgot exactly what he said. And it's fascinating. So there it is.
Well, it could even be more than that. Probably, possibly, assuming we can do that. You know, we're building the Ark, and maybe we use it for the Ark. Looks like we might. You know, we're going to be building the Ark, and we've raised a lot of money for the ballroom, so maybe we'll put the Ark is going to be incredible for Washington, D.C. So maybe we use it for the Ark.
He keeps saying it over and over too,
Right,
like
which doesn't make
intentionally.
it doesn't make any sense to me. And I wasn't able to verify this, but this tweet here says President Trump declares the ballroom is being made to house the Ark of the Covenant.
I was just thinking Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of
That's
the Covenant,
what he's
which
signaling there.
which there's a whole theory about he had an exact replica in Mar-a-Lago for a long time. A lot of people think it was the actual Ark, and we were just told it was a replica. And there's evidence out there that, says it was discovered in the 1800s or whenever it was. There's different dates, but it's been discovered. It's not this lost relic, right? Somebody
Right.
has it. We know where it's at.
Right.
And if this new ballroom is whatever the Ark is, whatever technology that is, the Ark of the Covenant, let's just say that Trump actually has access to it, or he has the real one, and it's going to be moved to this East Wing. Imagine what power that will have in disrupting that frequency in that grid, that
Right.
Masonic grid. So, I mean, obviously it's a technology that much has been, we can gather that just from all the, research that's been done on it and the sacred ancient documents. So I don't know what to make of it, but it's definitely interesting in my opinion.
It is, and I I just can't believe he says Ark without it meaning something, without it being very intentional, especially him
Right.
saying it like 7 times there. Like it's like he went out of his
Right.
way to say it over and over again, like he's signaling.
So it's almost like Trump was like, it was that whatever his bloodline was, he was like heir to some fortune or whatever it was. On a
Hmm.
global stage, right? A planetary stage, and he has blood rights to the throne or something like that. I mean, there's this whole theory right now that Trump is the king and blah 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 blah. So 6 days
Right.
ago, Trump was given a Torah crown by Israel Heritage Foundation. Their mission statement is to await King David's descendant, our Mashiach, whatever that says, to rule over the land and bring peace to all nations. That's their mission statement. And they gifted Trump this crown the other day. And here's a video if anyone's interested.
Okay. Give thanks to Hashem for his work is good, his kindness endures forever. Presented to President Donald J. Trump for his extraordinary and heroic efforts. I like that very much. To help the state of Israel and the Jewish people. He and his family should be blessed eternally from the Israel Heritage Foundation, July 10th, 2023. I want to thank you.
That will trigger a lot of people. But
Yeah.
but it's interesting. Like we're seeing like major moves being made, especially whenever he ate dinner with the at Buckingham Palace or wherever it was recently with the royal family, and they were treating him like one of their own. Uh, as if he was held some sort of status, right? There's something going on here. And I know there's a whole inverted twist to that, and there's a doom and gloom narrative for everything that's happening right now.
Right.
And of course, there's people in the PSYOPs branch of the military that are pushing that information so we can manifest that dark lower timeline, even though
Yep.
it's quite the opposite is happening, in my opinion.
Yep. Exactly the opposite.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's interesting. If you Google Mashiach,
Yeah.
it's really interesting what comes up. So it's the Hebrew word for anointed one and refers to a divinely appointed king, priest, or prophet who will come in the future to usher in a messianic era of peace and unity. And it
Really? Yeah.
says future leader. Mashiach is a human leader who will be a descendant of King David, possessing immense political and spiritual leadership skills. Basically just an anointed leader um,
Well,
figure.
anointed is the key word there.
Yeah.
So I have a question really quick. Is for everyone in the chat, how is the internet? Are we glitching or anything? I just got a warning on my screen for bad connection. So if there is anything going on, please let us know as far as that goes.
And no one said anything yet.
Right, yeah, I just saw the warning, so I just want to make sure. But I mean, I don't know, there's just things that are happening right now, and the fact that we're actually making progress with all the nations, like the rest of the world, whatever it looks like. I think you can't ignore that right now. It's so amazing to see somebody like when you watch Biden, like the best thing you could get out of it was a joke, you know,
Right.
like seriously, like because it was
Yeah.
such a low fabricated deep state agenda.
Yeah.
It was just painfully obvious to anybody could see it. There
Yeah.
was no organic moves being made. He was literally being walked around like a puppet.
And
And
then found out
yeah,
later the auto pin signing of everything. Like it couldn't be more obvious. It was literally just the deep state
right.
running the country for 4 years.
So yeah, so it's just interesting that we actually see somebody now doing real presidential things, whether or not
Right.
like I know there's so many people we've actually lost friends recently because we are pro-Trump. And it's not necessarily that we're pro-Trump, it's just that he's playing that role right now. And he's doing something about all the problems that we've been complaining about for the longest time. Like he's
Hmm.
literally uprooting it and rattling that cage, like I said earlier. And it's just undeniable that
Hmm.
these are different times. These are historic times,
Right.
literally unprecedented, unexpected. No one saw this coming. The
It
moves that are
has
being made.
nothing to do with normal politics or left versus right or any of that BS. It's literally just what is happening, you know. And
Right.
if you want to come and have a respectful conversation about what you think is happening and enlighten us, which we've had, and there's a lot of things I disagree with other people, but I don't go around trolling them or I don't cancel them for it if they're actually a decent person and they're not, doing anything that I need to disconnect from. But like we get it from people that just can't. It's like the TDS, like we talked about. You say anything positive about Trump or what's going on through that whole system or through Trump. Oh
Right.
my gosh, it's like you might as well, have said the
So here,
worst thing
and
ever
then
and you're canceled immediately.
here's one of the things the biggest argument that I've been coming across lately. Everyone's like, but he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
He has been on Epstein Island. He's a pedophile. So I
Nope.
so
False.
first of all, I explained this a couple weeks ago, but there is no Trump is on a list for Epstein Island because he was invited many times. He did fly on the plane, that's been verified, but the plane he took, if you follow the flight log, never even went to the island. So there's quite literally evidence that supports that he has never been. But secondly, if you want to think he's a pedophile, so I was watching the latest Jason Bourne movie just recently, and there was an assassin in the movie. They were basically killing this. They were going to shoot this guy while he was on the stage, much like the Charlie Kirk thing. And the assassin was one of their assets, one of the CIA's assets. Who's a highly trained, skilled assassin. But they already had a fall guy ready that they were going to arrest, and they literally the whole plan in the think tank in the movie, they created an entire fake life history for this guy. Social media accounts, girlfriends, places he lived, jobs, an entire life, even things that political post, left or right leaning post he was making, down to the tiniest details. The CIA's job is to literally create a background for somebody that doesn't exist. And then when this guy gets arrested, everyone goes and finds his social media accounts and all this stuff. And then, oh, look, he's been against this guy for so long because here's his social media post. It wasn't even him. It was literally set up. So if they're
Yeah.
doing that on a low level with these shooters, imagine the type of disinfo campaigns that are going around about Trump. I
Right.
mean, quite literally stuff that's saying he's a pedophile, but this is CIA disinformation.
And we've
Maybe we're
seen some
wrong.
of it, or we've already seen like the Russia hoax, like where they tried to get away with some stuff, and that's already been proven to be a disinfo campaign to get everyone to hate him and
Right,
get things to happen to either remove him or whatever. And then they've tried to physically take him out multiple times that we even
right,
know of. And I'm sure there's more that we don't even know of that, right? If those are the
right.
ones we know about, just think how many more. They've tried everything. They've tried lawfare.
And
They've to make him a 34 count felon. They had to change the rules of what counts as a felony and it was 34 entries. So they
right,
counted each one of those, and then they just keep saying that 34 time felon, 34. And then as soon as they convicted him of being a felon through changing the rules, they changed it right back. Right
right.
after, changed it right back. They literally
Yeah.
just did it for the headline, just to get everyone to hate him. That's it. And then everyone just parrots that same thing over and over. They don't know what the heck they're even talking about. They haven't even looked into it. They just
Right.
repeat what they're told. And this is what you see over and over and over. This is what we've seen the entire time. Even during the Biden era, all they wanted to just keep attacking Trump. Like, why would they keep attacking Trump when he wasn't even president? It's because they knew what was really going on,
Well,
and they
it's
still needed
because,
you to
yeah,
hate him even when he's not there.
it
So
meant the collapse of everything that they have literally worked for the last 3,000 years, which Trump did say is this has been going on for 3,000 years. But
right.
also, like, and just another thing, just for people out there, when they see this information about Trump online, this information or disinformation, um, we know, you and I know, the rumors that are going around about us that are quite literally hilariously untrue. And
Yeah.
there's an insane level of detail with it. And there's no doubt in my mind that something is behind that. But if it's happening to us, tiny little journey to truth,
Right.
it's absolutely happening to the president with
Right.
incredible detail about things that quite literally never happened. So I
Right.
like
It's
this,
impressive the detail that it's like,
right,
wow, somebody put a ton of effort into coming up with extreme detail of a complete fabricated lie
right,
just to just to get people to hate us or think negatively about it, or like just to
right.
discredit us.
And the whole
And
thing. But
yeah,
the scary thing is the incredible detail, and it's actually very sad to see how these evil geniuses are that clever still, because some people will
right.
believe that stuff, and but that's what's happening on the world stage with Trump and
Hmm.
anyone else that you hear things about. Like even whenever that's what I'm trying to explain. Like the CIA creates background history for these people, so even whenever you go to do research, the CIA has the information on the internet for you to find to support the false theory.
Right.
You can't, we know what's happening with AI in these videos right now. You don't know what to believe. You can't believe what you see now. And the same thing whenever you're researching, you can't believe what you're reading because it's just being thrown out. And their entire, like Carrie Cassidy says it best, they're faking reality. And that's what
Yeah.
they're doing. And unless you said, like you said earlier, unless you're connected and like tuned in and tapped into your higher self and your
You're gonna be
heart,
played like a fiddle. You're gonna be
you're gonna
played
be
like
played
a
like a
fiddle.
fiddle.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what a lot of yeah, you see
But
so many
but
people.
people are like so in their mind and they're like knee-jerk reacting to all this stuff because they are trigger events.
Hmm.
And they're just and they're allowing it to make them quite literally angry. Like angry such a way to where I'm like, okay, something is either working through these people or
Oh
something's
yeah.
happening.
Entities working through
Right.
people, absolutely, left and right.
But the and it also like so it dumbs you down so much, whatever it is, the chemtrail, the food, the water, the frequency, all of it. It quite literally dumbs you down to the point where your IQ level has to drop substantially. And you lose
Mhm.
the ability to zoom out and even think intelligently, critically think, and come up with these theories, whatever they might just be speculation, but at least you're thinking outside the box, looking at, okay, what's actually going on here? Like, why is this being allowed to be released? Why are we seeing this information? Why are we being shown this? It's all very strategic. It might seem like like chaos, but it's systematic chaos. They know what they're doing and
Yeah.
we need that disruptive energy. And actually, I'm not really good with astrology, but I was seeing a lot of stuff online right now. Is an important cycle or astrological cycle, a window, which would align with the disruptions right now, the disruptive frequencies. So
Hmm.
whatever's happening astrologically in this cycle, it's like exactly time for that, and it's been repeated in the past. So I find that
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. And we're moving into, was it like Pluto in Aquarius, which mean, it like lines up with what's happening and,
Right.
um, on top of the age of Aquarius or the new age, which is where that term comes from. We are moving into it. And that's why things are changing so rapidly right now because the old age of Pisces, which the dominant energy of that is like control, hierarchy, structure,
Right.
control, religion,
Right.
um, kind of like everyone follows somebody rather than like becoming their own sovereign being. Well, Aquarius is almost the exact opposite of that. It's like
Right.
sovereignty, freedom, uh, open information to everyone, freedom of information and freedom of expression, freedom of everything. Like it's the exact opposite. So we have the old structure, the old energy, the old dark system is crumbling, but they're not just going out without a fight, right? They're going out kicking and screaming, and it's trying to hold on for dear life while this new is being brought in. So we're in that chaotic phase
Right.
right now, which is why things, from one perspective, if you don't really understand, especially what's going on, it seems like it's the end of the world. Well, it's not. It's just the end of the old world. It's the beginning of the new,
Right.
which is way better than what we're coming out of.
And right, and everyone's
Right.
fight like saying Trump's bringing digital ID and all this stuff, and there, yeah, there's a lot of questionable things that's happening right now too, and we can't put all of our trust into what we
Yeah.
see and what Trump and but there's also, like I said, what we see, what we're allowed to see, they want us to see that. That doesn't even mean that's what's happening at all. Like Trump could be making
Right.
deals with these people because enemies, friends close, enemies closer type of thing. You have to take it
Right.
down from the inside. You have to like making it's almost like a Fed, like basically
Mhm.
baiting a criminal into making a deal with them, and then you got him.
Right. Right. And so all that stuff, yeah, because on a surface level, it looks like, oh my God, they're trying to do all this digital ID and um, transhumanist agenda and, uh, kind of like a fascist, you know, technocratic state of the whole planet. That's obviously what the cabal has wanted for a long time. That's what they've been working towards for a long time. Well, that negative timeline has collapsed in my opinion, but it's also we're seeing like the shadow of that, so to speak, still play out and merge into the positive timeline. So we're still seeing these aspects of it play out to a certain degree. And on top of that, there's all of this stuff going on in the background that things aren't what they appear on the surface level, which is what we always talk about, right? You
Right.
cannot take things at face value just how it appears on the surface level. You have to you have to go way deeper than that to get the truth of what's really happening. But so many people
Oh,
do that, and then they get pissed off about it, and then they're like, "Oh
right.
my God, doom and gloom. See, look, there's the proof. There's the proof that everything's bad and there's no hope."
So,
Meanwhile, we're literally the ones creating reality, and that's what they want you to believe, so that you end up creating that. That's how it's always worked, right?
right.
Well, they're still trying that. They're still trying that, and a lot of people are still buying into it, but a lot of people are not, and a lot of people are
So
just
I
like
do wanna I do
living,
wanna bring up something that I don't hear many people talking about, but it's actually a reality. And this is not meant to scare people, but this is what's happening. So I'm sure you've seen we've now destroyed the eighth cartel boat with a missile coming
hmm
from Mexico. And Trump was questioned about that. Why don't you pull these boats over and question these people, make sure that they're actually doing something illegal? He's like, we've been doing that for 30 years and it's been completely ineffective. He said, besides, their cartel boats are faster than our Coast Guard boats, but they're not faster than missiles. And basically, he said anybody that tries to traffic drugs into this country is going to be killed. But because of that, right now, this is the interesting thing that I don't think people are realizing. My friend from Cancun sending me videos. The cartel is retaliating on American tourists. They're literally um, taking tourists hostage, if not killing them, and as a
yeah,
retaliation to Trump cutting off their drug runs.
yeah,
And basically, like they're basically trying to incite war. But I don't know what's going
mm,
to happen out of that. But this is a real thing, and my friend sent me videos. So if anybody is planning on going to Mexico soon, he said it's very specifically the Cancun area. They are targeting American tourists. And specifically because they're mad at Trump for literally they're losing like
taking them
millions and
out.
trillions of profit. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're losing money. So
Don't go to
this
Mexico
is
right now. I would not. I would highly recommend you do not travel to
unless
Mexico right
unless
now.
like somebody that lives there and then like you have a safe place to go. Like don't
Right.
live in fear because of this. That's why I want to be
Right.
careful about.
Right. Unless you specifically have it planned out to where you think it'll be safe. But generally speaking, I at least I don't know for the next 6 months, let's just say or so, I would
Right.
probably
And
not go there.
Jersey Girl in the chat just said they've been doing that for years, though. It's been dangerous for years. Absolutely. But it's been
True.
ramped up. It's been
It's been
ramped up
ramped
late
up.
to the point where people are literally making videos about it. And my friend, who's quite literally from Cancun, is sharing these videos and say, hey, check this out because Obviously, like the people in Mexico, they don't like the cartel any more than we do. And I have firsthand stories from my friend about the cartel and how they operate. And they're as evil as it gets. I mean, the worst of the worst.
Mm,
And if you want
yeah.
a good example of that, go watch the movie, the last Rambo movie called Last Blood. I know people think, oh, Rambo action, but no, all his movies are based on real, like true stories. And it's
Hmm.
about him basically breaking up this sex trafficking ring in Mexico and this cartel. And when we interviewed Zaysan, who does that, literally, he said that movie is a very accurate depiction of what's going on and how they go in and even rescue people. So, but the cartel, how they behave in that movie is how they behave in real life, and sometimes even worse. And I could tell stories, but I'm not going to because they're absolutely horrific and graphic. But it's
Yeah.
the reality of the situation. So even the locals, they don't like the cartel either. So a lot of the Mexican people actually love Trump, even though
Hmm.
it's like it's obviously it's dualistic. There's two sides to this, but a lot of people who can see that they're very happy about it because they're sick of the cartel too. I mean, they're literally walking around on eggshells, and their business is going to get shut down if they don't pay the cartel their cut. And if they don't pay them
Yeah.
their cut, then they're going to kill one of their family members. I mean, it's just how it works.
Right. Right. It's like if the mafias of our country had a way bigger stranglehold over the entire country. Well, that's the reality of Mexico with the cartel
Right.
until now when they're being actively taken out, and that's why they're pissed.
So NASA activates planetary defense system for the first time ever, for the first time in years, because of potentially Three Eye Atlas. A NASA-backed planetary defense group has reportedly begun efforts to pinpoint Comet 3I Atlas after it was observed emitting an alloy not seen in nature and exhibiting other strange behaviors. That's interesting too. They shut down, the government shut down NASA, we lost all of our feed, any way to get photos or videos of 3I Atlas. Apparently, there's a second moon in our atmosphere right now for temporarily, which I don't think is a moon at all. It's
Hmm.
probably some ship that's parked there. I mean, there's just so many things. I
Second
mean,
moon. It's
even our
hilarious.
moon. No, seriously, and people are
I
taking pictures of it. It's a small planetary body that's like hovering in our system for a
right.
while.
But the fact they're calling it a second moon is what's funny to me.
Right. Which
Like,
is telling us if we understand, if we know that our moon isn't a moon and it's a command
hmm.
center, a space station,
Right.
then a second moon would be another command center, right?
Right.
And I just think it's absolutely interesting, fascinating what we're seeing happen right now with all this space news and space related news and 3i Atlas. And I mean, obviously, the deep state are opportunists and they're going to run with anything they can to create narratives and generate loose, energy for loose harvesting.
Right.
But just pay attention to it. I stopped looking so hard into 3i Atlas, even though I know it's just going to keep ramping up until whatever December, November comes. And apparently there's more than one of them now. Like how many objects are
Yeah.
surrounding Earth? Like I think you shared something about that the other day.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many
This whole
objects do you remember? Like
I don't
five
remember.
or six or
Something
something?
like that. Yeah, something like that.
So another thing that I want to talk about is something I've been noticing happening that I don't see anyone really covering. Uh, at all, actually, is so all the aerospace industry companies and the military branches of the military are silently rolling out these new aircraft and new weapons and new technologies, and they're doing it via X through a tweet. And
Yeah.
and some of them are getting like three, four, like nobody's following these pages. But it's
Hmm.
like, oh, here's this brand new craft that looks like
Right.
literally a UFO or something. And they're all being like just in the past couple months. It's like they got a green light to start releasing this stuff as if it's something new, even though it's like it's decades old, but we're not getting to
Yeah.
see it. So I've
Right.
been documenting it and saving it and compiling it. So I'm actually going to go through some of that because I think that you guys will find it fascinating and we're going to talk about some of it. So let me share my screen again. Okay, sure. Okay, so this first one we're going to look at is the Boeing tilt rotor combat drone. This is unmanned. Boeing launches new family of tilt rotor combat drones. Boeing plans a series of new rotary wing drones, starting with the collaborative transformational rotocraft that will be a loyal wingman for the AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. So this is what it looks like. If you can see my screen. I'll click on that. I don't know if there's a video. No, there it is. Yeah. This is a massive Black Hawk-sized helicopter drone. And inside of it has a little mini like tank-like drone like you see on Stark, like a looks like a Mars rover type of thing. It has tank treads on it, and the back opens up, and it can go literally investigate something like on Stargate when they send that thing through the Stargate to do recon. That's exactly what it carries. So I find that absolutely fascinating. And then what else? We have, is this the same thing? Oh no. So this no, this is the one that actually has I'm sorry, the tank. So this is the new Black Hawk helicopter. They call it the U-Hawk. So that's Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company. So there are so many things to break down and analyze with these videos. I mean, there's an incredible level of technology that is just being subtly rolled out before, literally right under our noses. And it's just like there's been so many of them. So let's go to the next one, the Lockheed Vectis. Has anyone seen this one? It's quite literally another unmanned uh, craft, jet, essentially. And actually, I'm going to go to the other. I'm going to go to the. It's Tony Rodriguez is calling me. Should I answer it and tell him that we're live right now?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, answer it.
Hey, I'm literally live on the air right now, answering your phone call, and everybody's listening to me. Yeah, you're live right now, but I'm not going to take this call. I'll have to call you back. I just thought I'd mess with you. Uh, oh, yeah, perfect, perfect. All right, see ya. Bye. That's funny.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Hi, Tony.
Okay, so this is the video I wanted to play. This is the Lockheed Vectis cutting edge uncrewed aircraft, integrates fifth and next gen platforms and provides unparalleled mission survivability. Let me make again, unmanned, unpiloted fighter jet. Can do everything a fighter jet can do, but with more precision because it's powered by AI. And they're going to accompany our pilots, obviously. And then what else? There's just so many. I'm only sharing these because, okay, we don't have to open this one up, but Lockheed, they released this precision strike missiles that are also powered by AI that can't miss a target like down to the like a centimeter, they powered by AI. So just another next level technology. Navy ships are using AI for defense and navigation. Like they're integrating these AI systems. I don't even remember what this one is. Eagle Eye. Let's click on this one. Okay, so we've seen this in every
The
movie.
plan.
We've seen this in every movie, but here it is.
Weather's coming in heavy. What's the plan?
Mortars will strike the coastline at 3 points. At the same time, to the south, we'll send up ghosts and provide surveillance on the enemy command station.
And as we know, terrain is tough on this one and the rain isn't helping. Once out of the highlands, we'll rally the platoons in the valley floor by the river.
We just got new intel. The river's flooding has gotten worse. What about the ridgeline option?
Understood. All right. We'll route the high point.
Eagle Eye, family of warfighter augments. So
Weather's coming in heavy. What's the plan?
pause
Mortars.
that. But that was by Endural Industries. The Eagle Eye offers the ultimate bird's eye view through a collaborative 3D sand table. Execute remote mission rehearsals, integrate location, aware video feeds, coordinate movements, win the fight. It's nothing new, but it is interesting that it's all being rolled out. This is the hologram technology that you see in the movies. They're always touching it and doing this stuff. It's real. It's rolled out. It's no longer sci-fi. It never was sci-fi, but just just to show you guys. And then what is this one? I forgot. There's so many coming out. Oh, this Northrop Grumman, the X-47B, which I don't know, looks pretty much like classified reverse engineered craft to me that has just quietly been rolled out. U.S. Navy.
Very interesting.
And then what else we have here? I forgot what this one is. Oh, okay. So introducing the X-Bat, the world's first AI piloted fighter jet. It's another type of jet, just like the Vectis, but this is brought out by Shield AI Tech. It said, Earth is our runway. The X-Bat delivers combat power anywhere, anytime. This is the future of air power. Watch the video here, and there's a whole video that shows this thing taking off almost like a rocket off the back of a truck. It literally like a huge truck backs up and it lifts up and then it takes off and it's AI piloted. So it comes back and lands literally back on the runner again, on the track again. And it's incredible. It has an insane amount of distance. It's uh, just another cutting edge technology that has been rolled out that you never heard about. Um, F-35 Lightning II vertical lift fighter jet, F-35. I think it's always had this capability, but makes me wonder if there's not some sort of AI tech in there. I mean, anti-gravity tech. Look at that.
Right.
Do you know that literally changes everything for aircraft carriers? Like the entire way they're designed for the runways and landing. I mean, obviously landing might be different, but if you're coming in like that, like there's like a helicopter.
Right.
And what else is there? And then this is the Lockheed Martin X-44 Manta. So we know from Daniel Salter that the TR-3Bs, the black triangles, were called Manta in the private sector. Mantas, black mantas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a actual Manta craft now that has been publicly released. Here it is. It says it never reached the flight phase originally, if you look at it, which isn't true, but it's still there. Here it is. They're showing us. And I'm going to go back to the U.S. Navy ships getting smarter one. I don't remember what this is. The U.S. Navy ships are getting smarter. We've upgraded the ship's self-defense system across the Navy's fleet, giving sailors faster awareness of missile and cyber threats, the ability to respond rapidly when every second counts. Clicks for more. Yeah, it's just an integrated AI technology. So anyway, I mean, there's many more. I've just been following these companies on X and noticing the stuff that's getting rolled out. And we have an entire new fleet of vehicles, warfighting vehicles. And we just went from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. I think, it's more of a threatening, like, why would you be doing this, right? Because a lot of people are saying we don't need war machines, which we don't. Like ultimately in our enlightened state, we don't need war machines. But to fight the system, this evil, like,
For
yeah, go
right
ahead.
now, we do. Right. In this transitory phase, we absolutely do because we have to take out the bad stuff somehow. And that's how you got to do it for now, right? Until the cleanup's done. And then it can be used just for maybe defensive purposes and for that and benefiting humanity,
Well, and
and then it will be phased out at
right.
some point completely, where we don't need any of this stuff in that way, at least. Like we'll need defense, some kind of defensive stuff, I'm sure, but like not war fighting in the way we know it and things.
And
Um,
yeah, so the way I see it is it's the aerospace infrastructure is being rebuilt. Like we've
mhm.
had these planes and these helicopters, these jets for years now, and they're old and tired. And we're waiting for the commercial airliners to get some sort of facelift and upgrade, but they're not. I mean, yes, they are, and it's happening, but it's very slowly because we need the infrastructure in place first. But the
Right,
military doesn't need to wait for that.
right,
And it's no coincidence that they're just unveiling all this stuff right now. Like every other day, something new, right beneath our noses, and no one's talking about it. Next thing you know, you're going to see this stuff flying around, and you're going to wonder what the heck that is. And it's all that. And that's only some of it. There's much more that we could go through, but I'm not going to go through all of
yeah,
it right now. I just want to give people an idea like the world is changing, and there are people out there that are fighting that change. If you want to fight that change,
hmm,
your life will become miserable. You have to understand what's
right,
going on and start flowing with these changes. Stop living in resistance, stop living in fear, and your life will become exponentially better if you do that. And you will then be emitting that frequency to the collective and allowing for that change to occur. And we don't have to put our energy into these fear-based agendas and narratives.
right. Your energy are, I mean, it's true. You want to call it woo or call it whatever, it's true. Where your energy, your focus, what you focus on, imagine, and put your energy towards is what manifests. That's how this reality works. And there's an individual version of that, and there's a collective version of that. So the more of us that put our energy towards a reality of love, peace, unity, and abundance, guess what? That's going to be, and that's to me, that's the awakening goes hand in hand with that, right? And that's why the cabal, how they've always operated and how they're still operating on their way out, is to do everything they can to bait you into hatred, fear, anger, suffering, hopelessness. And you see a lot of people taking that bait, hook, line, and sinker. I see it a lot. But a lot of them think they're fighting some kind of good fight because they think they are fully justified in that energy, which is what everyone thinks that's an energy. They have all their justifications, all their proofs that, this is the correct energy to be in, basically. Like
Right.
it's the only sane choice or logical choice is to be doing what I'm doing or say, when in reality, no. Even if you can like point to things that say like, oh, look, this is the justification for me being in that energy. Well, all you're doing is you're contributing to that reality more. Even if you think you're right, you're contributing to a reality based in whatever you're so in hatred and anger, and that doesn't mean there's not a good version of there's a righteous anger when it's needed. There is the need to call things out, but you need to stay in the energy of the former of love, unity, peace, hope.
Right.
And then you can call things out if when need be from there. Then you can say what needs to be said from that energy. But if you're putting your energy into, this doom and gloom, this like, you know, that whole thing, that's what you're voting for, essentially. That's
And
what you're
that's all
saying,
you'll
hey, I want
see.
more of that.
Right.
And that's what you're going to get more of. And that's what the
Right.
collective's going to get more of, the more people that do that. That's
Right.
what the dark wants. That's what they want. So you're actually falling right into their trap. You're falling right into the trap and you don't even realize it.
But you also don't want a spiritual bypass either. Like
Right.
recognize the darkness, understand it's real, and understand you can
Right.
transmute that. You don't have to live in that frequency and like exactly what you just said.
Right.
And this brings me to another point that's in my notes here. Trump was asked about the No Kings protest and the people there, and he's like, those people don't represent America, and he said they're lost souls. It's really sad, actually, and he emphasized that they're lost souls. He said it again.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, he understands this is a war for our souls right now. Like the soul trap on the moon, like this has been known for a long time. The soul
Hmm.
fragmenting technology, the splitting of our consciousness, all that stuff. So I think that like Trump understands the spiritual war much more than we understand. I mean, he's probably a time traveler. His whole family's a time traveler. I mean, there's so much more to this, right?
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious, but and time travel plays a much bigger part in all this too. And there's other layers and
Yeah.
other dimensions involved in interdimensional politics, and it goes on and on and on.
Right.
But we're just kind of discussing the surface level stuff that I've been noticing, and there's so many more things to cover. We can't cover it all. But I'm sometimes I'm nudged or we're nudged to talk about things like the Masonic grid in DC is a big thing right now, and
Hmm.
that being dismantled and disrupted, that's worthy of talking about and letting people know, because now like we can. For me, it's like the load keeps getting lighter and lighter. It's like for the first time ever, we're seeing moves being made that would that would indicate to me that we have an upper hand in this spiritual war for the first time possibly ever. And like the things that we're seeing play out couldn't happen unless that were the case, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the really big secret, the really big truth that they desperately don't want anyone waking up to, but people are, is that uh they don't actually have any power inherently, but we do because we're
Right.
actually connected to source, and we have a soul and a higher self, and that's connected to source. So when you wake up to that, that means we're the ones that have been manipulated into our own enslavement, into our own suffering, into everything. We've been manipulated in an unconscious state into it. And the second we wake up and take our power back, it's game over because they've been the man, the Wizard of Oz, man behind the curtain the whole time, tricking us into the reality that they want. So now we're
Right.
gonna create the reality we want because we realize we have all the power here. We're greater than all their bullshit. We're greater than all this nonsense. And there's
Right. And
nothing to fear at the end of the day because from that perspective, fear is just an energy you're in from an unconscious state. Well, the second you raise above that unconscious state, you realize, oh, there's nothing to fear. You know,
right. Well, what's the phrase they say?
there is no,
What's the phrase they say? Worrying about something is like worshiping the problem, basically.
yeah,
Like
it's
you're
praying for what
feeding.
you don't want.
Right.
That's what it is. And that's what
Right.
fear is.
And here, don't get me wrong, like we all struggle in life. We all receive
Right.
attacks in some form or another. We've all been treated unfairly. And some
Right.
of it might even be karma, some of it might be not related to that at all. Who knows, whatever situation you're involved in. Like there
It's
are
not
real,
discounting those
right.
experiences or that at
I
all.
mean, there is still a deep state network that is
Mhm.
targeting people, and we have the witness testimonies and these whistleblowers and stuff, these experiencers that are telling that story. But I think that story is being told right now because it's time for us to see what's happening, and we're moving
Yeah.
past that. But it's going to take years. I mean, this isn't just something we're just now learning about it. I mean, it takes a long time to
You
heal
got
from
to
this
see
stuff.
the darkness to transmute it and to
Right,
you got to see what you've been in and you got to see you can't just bypass it. You got to see it and feel it first, right? Just
right,
like emotions and traumatic experiences, you got to feel it to heal it. Well, it's just that on a collective level what we're all going through right now. So, but it's realizing it's like it's how you react to the hard stuff or the dark stuff or anything that gets thrown at you, and realizing at the end of the day, you know, even though from one perspective and one level there's victims and victimizers, from a higher level and a more real level there isn't. It's just how you react to things and realizing things can happen, but the I get to choose how I respond, and I get to
right,
choose how I play in more into the victim and poor me, or do I use the event that was very unpleasant as a catalyst to be the best version of myself and to go help other people that were also experiencing that event or that thing,
right,
because now I know what they've gone through and I can help them, right? See,
right,
it's all your perspective and how you react to what happens to you.
right.
And I
And you
think
can
that's what the lessons we're all going through right now. The universe is trying to like get humanity to it's like we're going through this quickening of like transmuting all this darkness and growing into our highest potential, in my
right.
opinion.
Yep. And you can tell where somebody's at by it, by based on what they blame their problems on, you know.
Right.
And most people aren't willing to blame it on themselves. Things are this way in my life because of this person or that person.
Right.
And we've all been there. We've all been there until we learn that lesson and realize, oh my gosh, like I'm literally, I'm perpetuating this, I'm
Right.
perpetuating this and I'm feeding it. So, and it's
Right.
not easy. It's so much easier to say, but it's not easy to break out of that and rise above it because
It's
for
not.
one, you are who you surround yourself with. And if you're
Hmm.
in a family environment or you're in a work environment where those people aren't thinking on that level, it's going to keep you in that frequency, even though you're starting to break out. Once you
Hmm.
realize that you have to break out, like quite literally, you have to move away from those people and surround yourself with like people that are actually seeing the positive timeline, seeing the positive future.
Right.
Otherwise,
Right.
it's just you're going to perpetuate your own demise.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, anyway, I think you two are gems, and
Oh,
so
thank you.
yeah, and so are the topics you brought, and thank you. We appreciate that. And thank you guys all for being here. We're going to start to wrap this up. If you would like to join us in Hawaii, we would love to see you there. You can go to our website, journeytotruth.online. You can sign up for our email newsletter, sign up for our Patreon if you're interested. But Hawaii is going to be a blast. It's on the
Yeah.
Big Island, April 20th through the 24th next year. Great lineup. It's going to be a vacation slash retreat slash conference, all in one. Not very many people, maybe 100 people max. It's a
Hmm.
small venue. It's going to be a lot more intimate than our last conferences have been in Grafton and a lot different. Just a
Yeah.
new, fresh, boots on the ground approach. Talk about some more lighthearted information and just kind of, activate these ley lines and whatever. Do the grid work at the same time. We're having a blast and just,
It's
enjoying Soul Family.
it's more of a Hawaii adventure than a conference, really.
Yes,
Right? It's a Hawaii adventure and
that's what, right. I might rebrand it.
spiritual.
We're going to rebrand it right now. Hawaii
Yeah.
Adventure.
Right. Right. Rebrand.
So the thank you guys all for the happy birthday wishes again, by the way. I appreciate that. Much love to all you guys. And then just a reminder, stay on the lookout for the announcement for the SSP documentary movie premiere here in Sedona on January 9th, Friday night, 6:30 p.m. sharp. And those tickets will be available potentially tomorrow, if not Tuesday. And all that information will be all over the internet tomorrow. Anywhere you follow us, we'll send out an email and all that stuff. It's very limited. Maybe like I said, the theater holds 43 people. So anybody who wants to come out, you're just going to get a first glimpse of this film we've been working on for years, and it's really coming to light. And I can't wait for everyone to see
Uh,
it.
we're both really excited about it. I
And
think
some
it's
of the
really
people in the
powerful.
film are going to be there for the
Yep.
premiere, and we're going to do a little mini live Q&A afterwards if time allows for it. And either way, it'll be a fun weekend. We'll be around. So if anybody wants to meet up or things like that, it'll be a good time. And just a way to get some word of mouth, get some buzz going for the film. We're already talking to some potential other theaters in California, Oklahoma, some people that we know who have premiered films before. So we might even do a little theater run with this, and then Amazon Prime and anywhere we can get it. We're looking into options to make this as big as possible because it needs to be. Like I said, it's a passion project, a labor of love, and honestly, the secret space program desperately needs a level-headed approach right now. Like
Yeah.
desperately, if you
Desperately.
get on social media and try to look it up, you might just turn your head and think these people are
You
crazy.
think it's a crazy cult
Right.
of mentally unstable people, maybe? And that would, yeah. So it desperately needs a something out, that the world can easily access that wakes people up to the reality of these secret space programs that have been going on for a long time.
Right.
Um, because there's been a lot done to damage the credibility and damage the information over the years.
Right, but the thing is some of it can't be damaged because it's set in
Right,
stone,
right.
and that's the whole point of this documentary. And we're not, it's not gonna be a softball disclosure documentary. We're going there, but we're not going too far with it. We're just quite literally trying to reach the skeptics, but then also expand their minds a little bit. get them on board and say also, this is possible as well. Consider this. So it's going to be
Right.
a lot of it's a lot of fun putting it together. It's a lot of work. January 9th in Sedona. If you are interested and you want to come out for that, just mark that in your calendar, and we will have that information available very in the next few days. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you in Hawaii. And I think
Yeah.
that's it, unless there's anything else that you want to cover before we wrap this up, Aaron.
Um, did we cover Three Eye Atlas? We kind of did.
Barely, just
Barely.
about NASA putting up a planetary defense,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But I don't know how much more there is to cover about it right now. Besides,
Um,
all the new
oh,
things.
well, the one thing I saw, because I saw Sarah Bressman Cosme shared a QHHT session, I think,
I watched
session
that, yeah.
that what came through, and that's I've seen other people say the same thing, and I actually agree with that, where it's well, I've heard it put different ways. I've heard it put as it's mirroring back to the person who views into it where they're at. So like they're wherever you're at, you're gonna see it as um
A
something that
comet, a
lines up
threat, yeah,
with your
yeah,
energy. Right, right.
right.
So if you see it as a threat or it's negative ETs, it's Draco, it's whatever, that's because you're on that frequency. But if you see it in a positive way, that means you're on a different frequency. So and somebody, I think what came through that QHHT session was whatever timeline you're on, you're going to see that timeline version of this event. So it's kind of like this. It's like it's interesting because it's almost like the same object is in all these different timelines, but it's something different in each one, or at least slightly different,
Right, because
right?
there's so many different, everyone's tapping into something different, which also tells us
Hmm.
something too,
Right.
and which would lend credibility to that theory that it mirrors back, or
Hmm.
like, it's such a sophisticated technology that the technology is designed to do that, whatever the case is.
Right. Right. Because you have all these
It's
remote viewers that are, you know, even a lot of them are credible or, they have a track record at least of being accurate, but they're all getting completely different things from
right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
I think that's why.
there's hardly a theme.
Right.
I mean, there is, I would say the one theme is that it's being mirrored back, but, and I feel like that information is only coming from, the people who are objectively like looking at this and not, they don't have emotionally invested in what they want it to be.
Hmm. Right.
So anyway, yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's getting closer and
Yeah.
closer. Jim Goodall was told in the 90s by an Area 51 whistleblower that we wouldn't be able to know about UFOs and advanced technology until 2025.
That's
Well, we had
right.
the drone invasion in January of 2025. Now this Three Eye Atlas has been on its way for months, but either way, it's just broadening the minds, the horizons of everybody on this planet, and they're being forced to think outside the box and consider all these possibilities now, and
Right.
it's 2025. So what's so special about 2025? What did they see with looking glass technology? How long have they known about this? Is this some sort of inevitable event? Like what? It's been known for quite some time. I don't think it's a
Right.
coincidence that 2025 was the year they had planned to start disclosing some of this stuff all the way back in the 90s.
Right.
It's very specific.
Right.
Why 2025? Well, here it is. We're here living it right now. The entire world is being uprooted. Aliens are real. I mean,
Yeah. Everyone
what,
knows that basically
yeah,
now.
right,
Like it's insane. Like 10 years ago, even look at the difference just in that span of time to now. It's nuts. Things are speeding up so fast.
right. Actually, we should get Sarah Brespin on the show, Sarah Cosman on the show,
We
and
should again.
talk about this.
We really should.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Been
gonna
a
reach
while.
out to her. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm officially old today, but I'm not
No,
gonna
you're
tell
not.
myself that. I'm officially young today. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I do have dinner plans tonight. So this was great. Thank you guys all for being here. We appreciate you. We love you. We can't do this without you. Go to our website if you're interested in the either of our events. We'll have the information about the documentary on there very shortly. Sign up for the newsletter, Patreon, all that stuff if you're interested. And from now on, we will be primarily posting on this channel. So if you follow our backup channel or Rumble, those are all secondary now. We're going to put our energy into this channel and try to keep growing our original account, our home. This channel treated us very well in the early days, and all along with all of you guys. So thank you for that.
Never
But
thought we'd see it again, but
me neither.
you've
Like,
decided to give
right.
it back to us, along with a lot of other people. I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of other people have been getting their channels back as well, which is
Yeah,
great to see.
it's a great sign. Absolutely.
Great sign. Yeah, things are happening. So
All right.
it's,
Well,
yep.
good night, everybody. We love you. And until next time, have a great evening.
Good night, guys. Love you all.